Good morning, gamers! Welcome back to Hellstormwargaming. My name is Mikey. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to this live stream. Welcome to the Wednesday morning show. We've got a fun one lined up for you today. So thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate you all. Appreciate you all. My joint chat isn't working, so just give me a quick second. Let me just give it a quick refresh. Refresh. There it says connected. That's good. Now you have to go all spam chat to make sure it works. Good morning, Popcorn Scorpion. Poxwalker Swarm winning every tournament when? Probably soon, bro. Probably soon. Had the most dull test game into Death Guard playing Eldar Infantry. My opponent just wanted to try triple Playburst Crawlers. They are surprisingly efficient now. Surprisingly, funny enough, if you give indirect full rerolls to hit, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Pretty good, you know? Why is my chat not working? Chat, come on, spam, please. Chat, spam, it's not working. But the plan today, I've got a little bit of news for you. And then I thought what we could do is we could go through every single Death Guard datasheet and tell you, and I'll tell you how good I think it is. I.e., we'll put it on a tier. We'll find a good tier for it, you know? Why is joint chat not working? Says connected. Come on. God damn. We'll catch up in a minute. But you're all doing well. What did you get up to yesterday? Let me know. Let me know. I was talking about the end of the stream about revamping the studio for today's stream. But I decided against it. I decided against it. Reason because I realised it might just be a shit stream. I realised it might just be a poo stream to watch me moving shit around. And being like, oh, I'm going to throw this away. So I'm not going to bother. I'm going to do it off stream. Or maybe I'll do like a members only stream. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some crazy new tabletop game, which I don't think should exist. Because I don't think you should mix politics and tabletop games. And then we can rank the Death Guard. Now you should stream and let us heckle you into using your knees to lift. Yeah, I just didn't want to because I was just like, I don't know. I was talking to Jojo last night. I was like, is this a bad idea? She was just like, you're going to have you back to the chat a lot and then they're just going to be watching you move stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty shit. I watched you cut up mats. Cleaning up would just be another stream. That's true. I did do a stream of cutting mats. I did do a whole stream cutting mats. That was a long time ago. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow then. My acoustic panel's arriving tomorrow. So. Are Chaos Knights a good faction for a beginner? Or would another Chaos Hammer be better? Chaos Knights are probably a good one. But what you'll realise, or you'll soon come to think about Warhammer if you're a beginner at me, is you either win hard or lose hard. Because that's what Chaos Knights are really good at, or Knights in general are really good at. They either win by loads, because they just absolutely dominate their opponent and the opponent can't kill them fast enough, or they lose by loads because your opponent picks up like 5 in a turn. So that's something you kind of got to be aware of when you are playing. So Chaos Knights will give you a little skewed version of Warhammer. Table or be tabled. Like 90% of the time, yeah. That's kind of how Knights play. It's not that you need to table everybody to win, but it's just obviously you'll be taking out, your focus will be taking out all the anti-vehicle stuff, and then all the stuff that can't kill you doesn't matter. Or won't kill you fast enough anyway. So what you'll find is like games are like really skewed. You won't have like, you will have some, but you won't have many close games. You'll have lots of like hard win, hard losses, and that's just not a good representation of Warhammer as a whole, but it is a good representation of Knights. So as long as you go into it with that in mind, then yeah, I think Knights are a good one. They're relatively straightforward to play. They're quite fun because they're big stompy robots. Yeah, they're good. They're good. Thanks for the help. So I have 2 war dogs. Should I choose a Chaos Legion and go ally them with World Eaters, Emperor's Children, Death Guard? Yeah, you can. Some armies need it, some armies don't. I would say Death Guard don't really need Chaos Knights. I would say World Eaters don't really need Chaos Knights. Maybe Emperor's Children do. I just need to tell the entirety of my Discord that I've just gone live. Good morning. Good morning. It's news time, and the news is I'm ranking Death Guard. That's the news today. That's the news today, chat. I might need to update my title because I think my title's a bit poo. What is the best unit in the Death Guard Codex? That's a better title. That's not news. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So I've got like a bit of a. I'm a bit gutted because I'm not going to be able to stream a game with the Death Guard this Friday. Because it's George's birthday. The sad news is, chat, this week it's George's birthday. So I'm not going to be able to stream a game with the Death Guard, but I'm hoping to do 1 or 2 next week instead. So I do apologise. I also still don't have the Codex. I'm having to use a PDF to actually, like, fucking do the stream today. George is streaming his Death Guard. Nice, GW will like that. Yeah, George's birthday this Friday, so we're going out for dinner. So I won't be able to stream a game this Friday evening, which is obviously a bit gutting. But I was hoping to do one Thursday, but I can't get one in. So we're going to have to do next week instead. What do you mean? Georgie doesn't want to play against you on stream as their birthday present? Yeah, I don't think that will go down well. So the problem is as well is Georgie's the one who usually runs the stream. She's getting pretty good at running the streams. So if she's not running the stream because it's her birthday, I can't play anyway. So we're a bit buggered, I will say, a bit buggered. So yeah, so this week I won't be playing a game, but next week I'm hoping to do at least 1, if not 2. I'm going to try and do one Wednesday and Friday next week. But we'll see. No promises. The thing is with game streams is I'm always available. I have to rely on other people. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to describe going out for a meal with your girlfriend as a gutting experience. It's a good thing for you, not for me. I'm going to have a great time. Chat, I'm going to have a great time. It's good for you guys. There you go, get to look at me. Oh, what a banger playlist I got on today. I've put on Nintendo music that puts you in a good mood. To put you in a good mood. And I am in a good mood now. But isn't it fucking warm, bro? So warm today. That's why I was like, I don't really want to be fucking lumping shit about. I don't want to be lumping shit about today. Maybe later, but definitely not today. I don't want to be fucking moving furniture and getting hot and stuff in this room. Especially because obviously I've got cats now. Yeah, have you got an indoor cat? How do you deal with the heat and not being able to open your window? How do you deal with not being able to open your window in this heat? Because I've got the window open a bit now, and then I'll open it, and then as soon as I open it, the cats will come in, so I have to close it again. You know? Air conditioner. Genius. Genius. Is that Dio in the background? Yes, that is part 3 Dio. That is part 3 Dio. Well, yeah, air conditioning is the only thing by the sounds of it. You can get a mesh screen for indoor cats to cover up windows so you can open them safely. Oh. Cat mesh. cat mesh. That's a nice idea. You can also have a window fan if that's the thing in Europe. Do you mind? Siri's trying to open cat mesh. A window fan. Is that just an air conditioning unit? My cat tried to jump out the window twice yesterday. Exactly, that's what I'm worried about. I have a cat, but she goes outdoors. Can you put the window on the latch just to let a bit of air in? Yeah, they're all on the latch, but obviously it's really fucking hard. It's really fucking hard. It's really fucking hot. That's the problem. And we kind of like want to be prepared when it gets hotter. So... The living room doesn't even have a window, it's just pie door, so I've cracked it and it's not enough. No, exactly. I saw a Reddit post of a person posting a huge dent on their car from a neighbour's cat falling a few stories. Great, I'm glad you shared that with us. I'm glad you shared that with us. Can you put chat on screen? I can't fucking... It's not working. I press... It says connected and then nothing happens. It's just nothing's happening. I'm not choosing to not put chat on screen. It's just chat's dead. Chat, why did you die? It does this sometimes. Sometimes it works fine. Like 90% of the time it works fine. And then it'll just be like, yeah, nah. Yeah, nah, I've had enough. I want the chat on screen for when I do the fucking proper part of the stream. All I can do is say refresh it. Is it working on YouTube fine? Yo, Papaya, thank you for the gift and membership, bud. Thank you so much for the gift of membership. Is the thing gonna work? I don't even know. Is it working fine on here? Chat's working. Chat's working fine. So I don't understand why on screen chat's not working. Oh, spoilers. Spoilers. Why is it not fucking working, dude? I got my old chat. There we go. We got my old chat working. There we go. Is it up? Is it up to date? It's very far behind. It looks like I'm super popular now. It looks like I'm super popular. There we go. We'll just have to use that one for a bit. And then it'll get doubled up. Hello, Mike S. How you doing? I smell heresy. Hello, Daniel. Do you feel 2 of the new combat patrol is a good start for a new Death Guard player? They're pretty good. They're pretty good. You probably don't need 2 Lord of Virulence, but that's about it. The rest of it, pretty decent. Then again, I don't know. Well, you know what? Actually, no. Thinking about it. I was giving you the NPC answer. I was like, yeah, that sounds good. Thinking about it now. No, because maybe Black Lords are a bit poo. Maybe Blight Lords might be poopy. It's quiet this morning, isn't it? Have you noticed? Everything's just not working. Everything's broken. Everything's quiet. I do prefer this joint chat, but the other one didn't really do it well. Oh, this is pure YouTube, that's why. No Twitch chat. Sorry, Twitch chat, you're out. 2 Comet Patrol, Death Shroud. What's in the Comet Patrol again? Black Lords smell poopy. They do. That's so true. That's so based. So such high knowledge. You know, no one else spots it like you do. Have you seen the ChatGPT news? Oh no, the Comet Patrol comes with Death Shroud. Yeah, two of these. Yeah, 2 of them. 2 of them. I thought it was black. It's the other box that comes with Black Lords, right? Yeah, 2 of these. Maybe even 3. Maybe even 3. I thought I was thinking of this one, which is also decent. Yo, Mr. Vexing. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. Really appreciate you. What a legend. What a legend. If you didn't know, chat, we have a little game. You can see at the bottom of the screen. A little game called Bigger Number, Better Person. Bigger number, better person. And the way to play is by becoming a member, super chatting, doing all the little things, okay? Doing all the little things. And then trying to get the number higher, because every time you do it, it counts 1. Isn't that cool? Isn't that such a cool game? Why are Blight Lords not that great? Well, you have to watch the stream, aren't you? Because we're ranking them all. We're ranking them all today. Chat, have you seen the new game to be hitting Kickstarter? Have you seen the new game to be hitting Kickstarter? You know me. I'm not a huge fan. Not the hugest fan when people mix tabletop games and politics. You know? Made up politics, I'm all for. Real world politics, not always the biggest fan. Okay? I've obviously called out a few companies, such as AK, trying to profit from the Ukraine and Russian war. Now, this one isn't trying to profit, but what the fuck is this, bro? Fight for America! It's a historical tabletop war game that places you at the US Capitol on the morning of January 2026 of January 6th, 2021. Yeah, if you're gonna grab a Comet Patrol, make sure you grab one from the Outpost using my link /Outpost in chat. You get a discount. I get a cut. Fight for America, designed by the legendary game designer Alessio Calvatore. Bro's got his fucking name on there. It's absolutely crazy. And created with the support of former US Capitol police officers, Fight for America is a historical tabletop war game. When does historical become a thing, you know? Because technically yesterday is historical. You know? Technically yesterday is historical. But does the character on the left get debuffed after the first turn and ends up in jail for 2 turns? Yeah, because after 2 turns he gets a get out of jail free card. Yeah, a bit of a yikes. Immersing you in the tension and uncertainty of the pivotal day. Now, normally I'd be really fucked off at this, but it is not profit. It's non-profit. But a limited home edition of Fight for America will be available exclusively through this Kickstarter campaign and only for 20 days. Produced by the American Vicarious, a non-profit arts organisation, Fight for America will debut in a massive, immersive 20-player mega game in London's West End, running from June 10th to July 6th, 2025. The mega game features 10,000 hand-painted 28mm miniatures, a 1/64 scale of the US Capitol, immersive video, sound and lighting, and Uncle Sam is your game master. This is honestly wild, to be honest. Actually wild. So this is the website for it, as you can see. And this is their plan. Why would you want to play this? Why would you want to play Insurrection IRL? Must be it's a joke. No, it's not a joke, but it's an art exhibit. Art exhibit, so he gets a free pass, allegedly. In London, it's in West End, yeah. It's in the West End. Let's just reenact the insurrection. It just seems crazy, like, as like a display, interesting, but they're like making home versions for some reason. For some reason. It just see, I don't know if there's any articles about it. A live immersive participatory art installation that explores the gamification of American politics, placing you in the event of January 6, 2021. Centered around a 20-player tabletop war game, the installation emphasizes the necessity for your active and informed participation in democracy and challenges you to consider our role in maintaining its stability. Yeah, it's just fucking play the guy with the fucking horns on his head. London game is blending it. After successful game testing held in New York City in January 2025, Fight for America prepares for its world premiere in London for a whole month. We invite participants to reflect on the urgency of de-escalating political tensions in an increasingly divided landscape, while underscoring how the win-at-all-costs game mentality furthers the extreme polarization of American politics, threatening the nation's foundational ideals. Do you hear that, chat? If you play whack in America, it's because of politics. In Fight for America, you and 19 other players enter a room to find 1/64 scale of the US Capitol building measuring 14 feet and 5 feet tall. Surrounding the Capitol are 10,000 hand-painted 28mm miniatures protesters, while 2,000 Capitol police figures stand guard at this entrance. You and your fellow players are divided into two teams, red and blue, and are briefed of the rules of the game. In the first round, the red team advances their figures towards the Capitol, while the blue team decides to deploy tear gas. A roll of the dice determines the effect of the advancing group's morale, and the referee announces the outcome. This is so wild, bro. You can see his satire dig at tabletop war games constantly having fascist factions. I don't know. Art is weird. And once again, begging Americans to realize that politics are not relevant outside of America. It's funny because no one cares about it, but they are very relevant, sadly. Chat, shall I go? Shall I go? It's for a month. This isn't art. No, it feels a bit glorification-esque. You know? Live stream it. I'm going undercover, like I'm an insurrectionist. No one really knows where I was January 6th. It's wild and very satirical, but counterpoint, is it any different to any historical-based tabletop game? Like I said, I don't like any of them. I'm never usually a fan of many. I'm giving this one a little leeway because it's a not-for-profit organization. So I can be like, okay, it's a bit of an art piece, all right? It's a bit of a weird one, but it's for the art, for the sake of the art. But it doesn't fill me with huge confidence, you know? Which president wins 1v1, Biden or Trump? Biden will just say you've already won, Trump, and then he'll give up and be like, yeah, I've won. And that'll be it. What's NPR? And Vice President Mike Pence. Oh, disconnected. Great. We've reconnected. Excellent. I think we're back. The others of the blue team playing the police officers who are trying to defend the Capitol from attack. A man dressed as Uncle Sam takes the stage. Welcome to Fight for America, he says. About 20 of us are here in Brooklyn to play a large-scale war game. Think race, but we're also each assigned character who's a bit like Dungeons and Dragons. We're told it's January 6, 2021. We're given rows and rows of hand-painted minifigures, a bowl of dice, and a measuring stick showing how far we can move each roll. We all stand up as we strategize because the board, green lawn and marble steps surrounds a detailed plastic replica of the Capitol that's almost 40 feet long. That is pretty impressive, though, to be fair. How fucking big that is. You'd have to roll a scatter dice of Biden's movement. America's public radio. Right, okay. Fight for America has been in development for over a year from the American Vicarious and who are these? An artistic not-for-profit that calls itself a generator of creative content that reflects on America and Americans. The game, why is it being held in London for a month then? You know? If it's on America for Americans, why is it in London for a month? Although artistic, Alessio will just literally fucking do anything, won't he? He'll just look at something like, yeah, I'll write it. Yeah, I'll write it. They're like, will you write a game that's like about like murdering children? And he's like, yeah, go on then. Go on then. I got you, bro. It's in London so they can get stabbed, not shot by protesters of it. True. True. Although artistic projects are outside his comfort zone, Cavator agreed to design the game because he liked the intent to encourage dialogue, making the red and blue engage in activity to speak one another instead of demonizing the other as bad is important. This is such a centrist take. This is just a centrist take. There's like, no, we shan't listen to the left. We'll just listen to the right and say we're not evil. You know? Fucking Twitch isn't working. There you go. Guys, you can't stop that. Listen, we must listen to the right. Every damn time. Every damn time. We must listen to the right. Listen, leftist. Listen to the right. He says conversation over Zoom. Let's play a game, then let's have a chat. Let's talk about things. We may not change minds, but at least we're getting understanding from the other side. I don't want understanding. I want pricks to fuck off. Cavator is based in England. He's now at this workshop, which is one of the final large-scale test runs before Fight for America officially opens in London in the spring. Why? Do police get damage bonus against minorities? I can't believe that's... Yeah, yikes. I can't sit here and say that's funny because it's probably true. The Brooklyn test run is not necessarily meant to be blue and red conversation. We're playing in a neighborhood that tends to go for Democrats. 92% vote for Harris in November, but Brooklyn liberals are not the final audience, critics say. No, not the liberals. We must listen to the right. Our ultimate objective is to take across the United States. Well, take it there then. Why are you bringing it to fucking London? An engaging gameplay to have conversations about the state of our democracy, said the American vicarious artistic director, who worked with Cavill to create the game. The beautiful thing about playing a game, it requires participation, and that's what democracy is. Democracy requires... Democracy is a game! Is this guy the fucking Joker? Is this guy the Joker? Democracy is but a game that you must participate, my friend. Yeah, participating in this particular game seems absurd to some at first. That was Corey Dahl's response when someone who worked the game invited to play. I thought it was a joke. I don't want to play January 6th, the home game. What is this nonsense? Dahl recalls thinking he's been assigned to the blue team, but then the creators explained to me it was an art installation and I live close, so I said, let me come and do it. Can they take Alessia with the game over to the US? Is the joke with the game that democracy doesn't exist in the US right now? That's true. We must educate the people of London about the fall of American politics. He's not wrong that it's an outlier. Most war games with dice and minifigures are about historical wars, but not about current events. You don't often play a character, and they tend to be a couple of people around a table, and not a couple doesn't play all at once. I invited Naomi to come play, and we both assigned the red team. She's a game designer and professor at New York University, where she heads the NYU Game Center. Fucking hell. I'm sure there's been a game exactly like this before. This is really interesting and unusual event. Maybe a historic first of its kind. Just because it can exist doesn't mean it should. Oh, Mikey, I saw Nick on Twitch telling a streamer he loves Lou, but will choke him out. Right, I have no idea who Nick is or Lou. Part of the interesting thing about what games is you can imagine all these what-if situations. It's a different way to study or looking at history. Yeah, like, what if everyone who went to January 6th got arrested? You know? What if they got arrested and punished for their crimes? That's the what-if joke. That's the what-if moment. I wrote the name wrong, but they were in your speed painting Toon Kings and Bretonia video. You on about Mark? Loves Louis, but we'll choke him out. Right, okay. Yeah, he streams on a Monday. He has his own AOS show. Is that what you mean? Games are traditionally about fun, right? But by which I mean they produce pleasure, she says. But they don't only have to produce pleasure any more than a song or play produces pleasure. They can also make us think, and they can pose questions. Yeah, I like when they pose questions about like the mortality of the heat death of the universe, and just like playing a random game that like makes me consider every choice I've ever made in life, but not about this. Five for America is more than a game. It's a social event. There's an edge of happy chaos with beer and snacks pushed around on a cart, many people talking and rolling their dice at once, with regular interruptions by actor Dana Watkins, who plays the game master dressed as Uncle Sam, as well as characters and sketches that appear on video monitors. Everyone from conservative broadcaster to Nancy Pelosi to the red team leader. Games don't need to be fun, sign me up. That's what I say to myself every time I get tabled. Every time I get my shit pushing, I'm like, games don't have to be fun. Sometimes they can make you think. You know? Where did she say it? Where did she say it? Games don't only have to produce pleasure, I say, as I pick up my last model of that round. Recreating January 6th at All Stars when Mikey doesn't release pairings. Steal the pairings. Stop the steal of pairings. money owed, but it doesn't matter because I made you think. Games aren't only about producing pleasure. Sometimes they're about losing and considering and becoming an incel. Fucking hell. Winning is everything, said America. It's just fucking wild. Why would you make this? Fucking... Ugh. They're all shitly painted. They're all painted in speed paint as well. Bastards. Maybe we should play this when we get paired into each other. Excuse me. I find it fun to imagine my genes to the cultists being murked by a spacemarine. Bit weird to simulate Pelosi shitting herself as people raid her office. Roll battle shock. Yeah. Roll battle shock to see if you shit yourself. Why do you rate this? There's a lot of art trying to make a statement. Maybe I'll go, chat. Maybe I'll go and have a look. They made a war game about January 6th. They got 200 followers on Facebook. 202. 203. I'm joking. No, start unfollow. I was only doing it as a joke. Don't make me click 4 boxes. Shots from our January NYC test session where every decision, when to advance, where to hold the line, how to position units, completely changed the outcome. God, there's so many movement trays as well. God. Do they roll for stupidity in this, or... They're getting flanked. They're getting flank bonus, and they do combat res. I know how to play Old World. I want your take on the game mechanics. Deploy, advance, dominate. These are just these three are just the tip of the iceberg. Every Fight for America Artist Home Edition comes with 80 highly detailed miniatures designed for small, large-scale tabletop warfare. Can they sell this? Like that? Yeah, fine. Well, not fine, but you know, you can definitely sell it. I do think that the overall premise that we as Americans holds it in London need to have a conversation about difficult topics. It's important to explore what better way to do that through an immersive gaming experience. So these are the lads doing it, I think. We as Americans need to have this conversation. Holds the event in London for a month. me after I lose that third game in a row. me in the US in Atlanta losing that third game. Yeah, it's me. I'm there. I will say the model looks great. I just don't think it needs to be a game. You know what I mean? Seems a bit weird. She wearing a fucking MAGA hat as well. Oh, it says Fight for America. Fucking hell. Just so bizarre. Right? Right? Isn't it just so bizarre? I think that's it. I think that's the other picture. Oh no. There's so many pictures. Like, fucking imagine wearing this. Fuck me. Imagine wearing this outside. When are you going to paint up your ICE agents army on stream? Imagine wearing that on ironically. People would just be like, yeah, we need to get rid of the black people. That's what they'll say. They'll see that hat and be like, yeah, I hate black people. Is that Jack Black? Jack Black was on January 6th. Jack Black was there. Right there, dude. I am Steve. It's not just a game. It's a canvas. Shut the fuck up, dude. Stop now. Quit while you're behind. Quit while you're behind. Oh, look, they've got Donald Trump miniature. Let's go. They got Trump. Chicken jockey. Team Q, aka Wild Cards of Chaos, represent a faction of unpredictable elements and symbolic figures disrupting both sides of their chaotic and unconventional tactics. Fuck me. Team Blue, Defenders of Order. No, Defenders of Property. Defenders of Property, dude. Where's Trump? He's bang in the middle, dude. I don't know how the families of the 5 people killed during the riot feel about people playing a game at the events. Well, Papaya, you just tell them it's not a game. Okay? Made me think. Yeah, Trump's there in the middle. That's Trump. That's what's-her-face, Pelosi. Then can't tell who the other ones are. That's Mike Pence. Are you going to review the detachments? What, of the Fight for America game? Team Red, Agents of Disruption. I like the guy holding the phone. That's fun. It's just like making a miniature. Obviously, that guy is like the guy of the insurrection. But just like fucking glorifying him in a miniature, a bit cringe. You know? It's like making a Hitler model. You know? It's like sort of like that line. You're on the, that's the same slope. Fucking idiots. Keep it in the US, mate. Keep your fucking dog shit up there. Keep your dog shit where it belongs. I don't shit in your house, bro. But I do kind of want to go see it. Just for the sheer fucking craziness of it, to be honest. I fucking hate that we now have a Marjorie Taylor Greene before we got a new Hellbrute. The thinly veiled, well, actually, both sides of Toggy's wind me up. Yeah, it's such a dumb shit. It's such a dumb thing to say. Hey man, US resident here. I don't want that shit game here either. I know you don't, but I don't shit where you eat. Anyway, chat. Very weird, very strange, very bizarre. Very, very bizarre. Anyway, shall we do a tier list? Do you think Gino will pick this game up? Yeah, definitely. UK GT. Fight for America GT. Coming to a school gym near you. Don't hold Fight for America in a school, bro. Let's not hold Fight for America in a school. That's all I'll say. A Fight for America. Chat, it's all about the title, baby. It's all in... Where's my thing gone? Aha. There is each cultist all along. Dark HQ. Chat, today we're going to do a Death Guard tier list. As you can see, we have one. We have a tier list. We have a bunch of units, which is kind of annoying because they're together. That's kind of annoying, actually. I thought this was going to be a good tier list, but it turns out it's not. It turns out this is a shit tier list. We need to finish it. Chat, are we missing any units? We need the Noxious Blightbringer. We need the Malignant Plaguecaster. And we need Lord of Contagion. And Lord of Boxers, actually. Is it correct you can't buy the Blightbringer? Doesn't it come in like a set of something? Yeah, it's in the multi-box. Chosen and Mortarian. That's where you get him. Or you get him off eBay. Death Shark can deep strike within 6 inches, but there's no way to give them deep strike because they're 10 minutes. Shut up. Dickhead. Yeah, there's no demon printers. This is a shit tier list. Thank you, Puddle. It's gonna be the one on foot, why not? You little buck. Fucking loser. Is that it? I think so. Putrefier. Blight Lords. Land Raid. It's on other tanks. Oh, fuck me. This is the worst tier list ever. I thought I found it. I was like, hell yeah, dude. That saved me so much time. Turns out it hasn't saved me any time at all. And I basically got the fucking drone as one, right? Yeah. No, someone's at my door. Yeah, I mean. And the forge feet. Oh my god. £44 for 3 models. Yeah, characters, but they're all push fit. What do we want? Annihilator, Destructor. What's the other one called? The autocannon one. I'll do. And then drone. They released that part of the Dark Imperium, but not the Lord of Contagion. Yeah, they done fucked it with that one, really. Because it's on the wrong sprue. Can you get Forge Fiends in this? I don't think you can you? No. Icon Bearer. Jay, thanks for the 40 months, dude. Dude, thank you so much for the 40 months. Thank you so much. What a fucking legend. Thank you so much, buddy. Really appreciate you. Chaos Spawn, nope. God, there's so many more units in the Death Guard bunk. Hellbrute. They forgot the whole Codex, yeah, literally. There's like fuck all in this tier list. Chat, is there a better tier list than this one? I fucking made it now and I may as well just use it. That train thing, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, bro. They're done exclusively the Death Guard units. I'm surprised that like Death Guard has this much stuff from the Chaos Spacemarine book after they got rid of it for the Emperor's Children, which just seems to me it oh, this fucking shit, don't need that either. It just tells me that they definitely didn't want to put Defilers in the Emperor's Children Codex because they didn't want Emperor's Children Defiler in the Codex. They didn't want the words Children Predator or Children Defiler in the book. You know? I think that's everything. I'm not doing the terrain. No one's taking it. Emperor's Children was written at a different time with a different team. No. Nah. They don't just randomly leave that out of the one codex that all the other ones have access to. That's not random. That's not an accident. Looking at Death Guard, it's obvious that World Eaters and Emperor's Children need a couple of unique demon engines each. Yeah, definitely. Chat, it's quite warm today, so it's quite hot. So before I do this, I'm going to go grab a drink. But what I should ask you is we currently have Morty as a tier, which is pretty poo. Now, if we go to Hellstorm tier list, I also ranked... Well, that's me. That's me right now. I also ranked because they all came out on the same day, if you remember. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing the same thing. So how do we rank them on the old tier list? We had... Oh, you guys wanted SS tier, I remember that much. S, nerf me, A, strong, B, decent, L, situation. Did we stick with that? We did. Shall we use the same tiers? Or shall we do slightly different? Let me know, I'm going to go for a quick wee and grab another drink. Recycling content? It's not recycling, it's brand new content. Same tiers, same tiers. Okay. Let's do the same tiers then. So we've got S. Nerf me. A. Stronger. I put a space there. Can you see it? There you go. Check. Got rid of it for you. B. Decent. C. Situational. And then D. Trash Y. Trash Y. I think they're good tiers, to be fair. Also, chat, I've been trying this Red Bull Zero. Have you seen it? It's sugar-free Red Bull, but 0 calories as well. But sugar-free Red Bull is only 3 calories. So what is it? So what's in it? That's the question. And it's got 2 calories. It's not even 0. It's got 2 calories in it. So how is it 0? What do they put in it? If there's no calories, what's in it? Does it use sativa? Stevia? Isn't that drug? Isn't that weed? No. Maggie, that's a heart attack in a can. It's a sweetener. Oh, I thought it was what's the weed one? What's the weed one, he says? It's carbonated water. Tastes funky. How do they get the flavour in if there's nothing in it? If it's truly 0, why is there 250ml? That's the question. Aspartame looks fucking 951. No. Sweeteners: sucralose, cyclamate, and saccharin. Energy drinks are going to be the next smoking. I think it's a bit beyond that, to be honest. I think it's a bit beyond that. Before we have a look, Sasa just posted something. It says, looks silly and cute. Blitzkrieg, miniature World War II brick battle. It's fucking Lego, World War II Lego. Okay, that looks quite cool. Lego tabletop. That was quite fun, actually. Blitzkrieg. That's funny. Battle reports. Oh, it's his proper battle reports. Read report. Pre-painted miniatures game, finally. X-Wing who? I can't believe the board isn't Lego. Disgusting. That's quite cute. I like that. It looks funky. But don't forget what it is, chat. I like that you can just break your Lego apart. Oh, look, the Germans won in their first battle report. How convenient. How convenient. Are the Germans going to win again? Sauce. Sauce. Somehow the Germans had snapped victory. Suspicious. Suspicious. If you take wounds on you, just pull them off the plate. I think so. I think so, yeah. Hey, Pinkster. Oh. Oh. Ink, you just pull my blind down. Ink, you just pull my blind down, bro. What do you think you're doing? Destroyer of worlds here? But I can't see anything now. Do you mind? For fuck's sake. Right. Inky has a perfect strike rate for interrupting stream. I'm glad I just hadn't quite started yet. You know, like this next section. Okay, gamers. Okay, gamers. This week, Games Workshop released a new codex for Death Guard and World Eaters. And today I think we should take a closer look at the Death Guard. Mikey needs to refilm the intro. We're going to take a look at the Death Guard. I thought, what better way to tell you about what is the best unit in the Death Guard Codex other than a tier list. Here it is, baby. There's quite a few units to go through. So let's start with number 1. Mortarion. A little bit more Mortarion because he's a little bit better than last time. Great. I can't zoom when I do that. Great. Love that for me. Why can't I zoom? Fucking hell, chat. I'm so angry. Mortarion, looking pretty spicy, as you can see. He's still got the lantern. He's still got Rotwind. Silence is looking pretty good. It's devastating wounds and lethal hits. I don't think it had devastating wounds before, as far as I remember. It's pretty good. It's 5 attacks, strength 14, -3, d6 +1. And he also has his Lord of Death Guard abilities, which are completely different now. Like, all of his datasheet pretty much changed. He used to allow you to, like, ignore modifiers for units within 6. But now he does mortal. He has a little mortal wound bob at the end of the movement phase, which is quite fun. And then he can force a unit to reactive move with diseased influence. He's got the boon of death. He can basically, in this fight phase, which friendly Death Guard unit within 6 is selected to target attack. This unit can use ability to do so until the end of the phase. In that Death Guard unit destroyed by melee attack, you can fight on death on a 2+, which is very good. Very good. And then finally, he can make a unit shoot back, which is just like a completely different unit compared to what they had like last week, you know? Compared to last week, absolutely insane. Like a complete rewrite, essentially. He's also got longer range on his ranged weapons and Rotwind, which is completely correct. Thanks for pointing that out, Alex. Just realised my chat's in the wrong place as well. There we go. Nope. Oh, we're having a day today. We're having a day today. So he's obviously looking pretty nasty. He also has the grenades keyword, which is quite nice. So it's not often that a large model has the grenades keyword. It's something that I noticed I don't think a lot of people have picked up on yet. So he can do mortal wounds and then shoot lantern, shoot Rotwind, and then charge you. Guaranteed. He can pretty much pick something up quite quickly. Now the problem is all of this is for the cool amount of points of 380, which is a lot more expensive than it used to be. A lot more expensive. Now, obviously, we saw the Fulgrim 385, kind of expensive. Now, he's on a huge base, whereas Mortarian's on a 100 mil base, which gives him a lot more play, I would say. It's a lot easier to actually utilize, because the thing is with it is as models is getting bigger, Yo! Hellstormwargaming, thanks for becoming a member, dude. Really appreciate it. If you don't know, chat, we've got a little game. When people become members, super chat, Prime, we get a little thing at the bottom of the screen. Wait for it. It's going to come up. Wait for it. Wait for it. And if every time you do it, the number's going to go up 1. Maybe we could beat our high score of 27. Best of luck. So, anyway, yeah, so he's quite... The thing is with Fulgrim, his base is way too big, whereas Mortarian is only on 100 mil, so he's a lot easier to utilize on a lot of boards, because models are getting bigger, but the terrain is staying the same, you know, and people are actually using more terrain, so using big models is getting even harder, you know. Now, compared to Fulgrim, Mortarian is a lot better, I would say. He's a lot better than Angron, he's a lot better than Fulgrim. He's a very good buff piece that's quite choppy as well, which is nice. Now, the problem is we're not ranking the Primarchs, we're ranking in the Death Guard Codex. You know? We're ranking the Death Guard Codex. Now, Mortarian, I think, is a very, very good unit. He's a very good buff piece, but he's very expensive. He's very expensive. I think that's going to hold him back. I don't think he's S tier. I don't think he lives here. Okay, and chat, if you're watching, if you're watching live, you can critique, you can say I'm wrong if you don't agree. I think he's like low A, high B. You know? Low A, high B. Because he's such a points investment that if he dies quickly, you lose a quarter of your army. Or fifth of your army. So I think high B, low A is probably good. Either he's good enough to auto-include in every list, or he's tough to work because of the points cost. Yeah, the points cost is going to, like, really hold him back, I think. Because 382 points feels very pricey. How tanky is he? I mean, he's pretty tanky. He's pretty tanky. He's T12 with a 5+ feel no pain. Make a tier in between that's just him, the Morty tier. How many points was he before? Before he's 300. So he's gone up almost 80 points. He's gone up 80 points for the benefit of this new Lord of Death ability. He's an average of 24 wounds. I don't think so. Don't think that makes him an average of 24 wounds. Oh, no, he does. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong one. 300 before, then 400 the book leak. Well, I'm not using the book leak. I'm using the actual points, which is 380. The book doesn't mean anything. Don't look at the book points. It's 380 points. So I think that's going to hold him back a little bit. You know? I think that's going to hold him back a little bit. I'm going to put him in A for now. But if this gets full, he's going to go down to B. It's a strong unit. Yeah, but it can die in a turn for 400 points. You know? Especially when you can, like, start going, like, jumping ahead. You can have 9 Death Shroud for the same price. I would prefer 9 Death Shroud. I'll put him in A. If A gets full, more times getting put down. You know? I think here. I'm going to leave him there. B. Decent. Welcome to Survivor 10, 400 points. Not a lot. That's why you don't use them. You know? Not a lot. That's why usually smaller units are better. Anyway, that's Mortarian. Let's have a look at Typhus now. Typhus, pretty good. He can now be attached to... Oh, he can be attached to Blight Lords, Death Shrouds, or Poxwalkers, which is nice. His Destroyer Hive gives -1 to hit in melee, and he can still do his Mortal Wound shenanigan. You know? Choose a unit with an 18, and roll... And visible to the Psyker. Roll a d6. Roll a d3. Roll a d6. You suffer a mortal wound if you roll a 1 on d3 on 2 to 5, or they take d3 plus 3 on a 6. Still a very good ability. Pretty much the same as always. I don't think he's changed at all. I don't think he's changed at all. Fucking got Inquis everywhere. He's highlighted everything. Typhus coming in at 90 points. I think Typhus is really cheap. Because he's a very tanky. He's obviously toughness 7 now. That's the main difference. He's very good in combat. He's very fun with Poxwalkers. Because with Poxwalkers, I believe his Eater Plague ability makes more Poxwalkers, which is kind of fun. Doesn't have the grenades keyword. Kind of cringe. Even though Mortarion has it for some reason. I suppose Mortarion has the grenades keyword because the Naglings on his base are holding grenades. That's the only thing I can think. It's the only reason he's got it. So yeah, so I think he's pretty good. Pretty fun. 90 points. Very cheap. Very cheap for a named character. I think Typhus A tier. A tier. Very strong. Probably also including a lot of lists just because how cheap he is, and he's very tanky and very choppy. Very, very choppy. So I think it's no question he's sat at A tier. Standard low price, I assume he'll be used unless there's a really spicy enhancement. Yeah, because like Lord of Poxes, to jump ahead a little bit, is 75 points. So for 15 points, I can make a Lord of Poxes Typhus. All day. All day. Maybe even... Is he S tier? I don't know if he's S tier because he doesn't buff loads. He just gives -1 to hit and he's a bit of a mortal wound snipe. So I think he's strong. I think he's just strong. I'm not using Leech points. I have official points from Games Workshop. Games Workshop has sent me the points for the Codex and the PDS for the Codex. He's great in Poxwalkers, yeah, definitely. He is great in Poxwalkers. Now, the downside is if he is with Poxwalkers, the Poxwalkers can't infiltrate. He might be S in some detachments. He's really strong in a lot of detachments. I don't know if he's S tier on his own. Of Nurgle. Let's have a nosy. Infernal Cannon, decent. Hellforged weapons with lethal, decent. Okay. Move 8, T12, which is huge. Which is absolutely huge. Toughness 12. His same toughness as Mortarion. He gets lone up within 3. Now, I don't know if there's a lone up character we can utilize with that for some shenanigans like you can with Lucius and the Demon Prince. But once a battle round, when a model with his unit can within 12, you can reduce the CP cost by 1. That's a great ability. Cover aura. So, get rid of that one now. So, gives out cover. Where is he? My little book. Gives out cover, and he knows how to use command points cheaper. Now, Demon Prince of Nurgle is 195, which is the same price as the Slanesh one. Now, he's a bit choppy. He's not quite as fast as the Slanesh one, which obviously I'm trying not to compare too much, but it's hard not to. It's the same unit. -1 CP, 12-inch aura is great. That's a really good ability. Nearly 200 points. That's kind of all you're getting out of him, really, I would say. Is to make command points cheaper. It's a very strong ability. But that is pretty much all he's doing. He'll make combat eventually, but he's quite slow. He's a bit situational. Low B, high C. Let's say B. I'll put him in B. Low B. I think things will be better than him. But obviously, if you because Death Guard can be a bit CP hungry because there's some detachments like the basic one, I think it is. What's it called? There's one with like a couple that are like 2 CP. They're pretty good. You want to use them, but like having command points is hard. Is it Virulent Vectorum it's called? Yeah, Disgusting Resilient, which is -1 damage, and increasing contagion range, which is not that great, but they're both 2 CP. So having him available to make those 1 CP or the other ones free is good. Is very, very good. So yeah, I'll put him in B. He's pretty decent. He's pretty decent. He's a bit expensive, which is why he's not strong for 200 points. But he's pretty decent. Okay. How's he not A tier? Because he's very... Why would he be A tier? Why would he be A tier? He's quite slow. He just gives out free command points. That's about it. Is this tier list just going to be the Death Shroud tier list? Death Shroud are definitely going to be S tier. That's a spoiler. I'll give you that free spoiler. You know? Man takes A tier, no explanation. Yeah, like I'm trying to tell you. He's 200 points. He has Lone Operative, but there's no Lone Operative character to go with him to get to do the shenanigans. He's decent in combat, but doesn't do much. Because Benefit of Cover's fine, but it's not great. And then the CP cost is good. That's why he's decent, not C. Tier list or non-Death Guard tiers? Next up, Demon Prince with Wings, baby. Demon Prince with Wings. Okay. So again, 195 points. Like I'm surprised they're the same points cost exactly. Now... Each time this model ends a charge move, so like one of my unit with engagement range, that unit must take a battle shot test -1. Great. And when an enemy unit, excluding models or vehicles within 6 of this model, each time one is selected to fall back, models within that unit must make a desperate escape test with -1. Any arguments as situational? Any arguments as situational? It's excluding monsters and vehicles, which is probably what he's going to go after. He's going to go after like heavy infantry, or monsters and vehicles, and forces a desperate escape test, and then forces units to take a battle shock, which would be fun. It just means they can't use strats in combat because by the time you've charged, you've had the combat. If they're still alive. When they desperate escape, they've already passed their battle shock again. I think he's a bit trash, to be honest. He moves 12, which is nice. He's T11, which is good. It's situational or trash. I just don't think they're very good. I think this one should be cheaper. I think it should be like 170 or something. Then you got like a decent combat profile. You got a decent combat profile and then some mediocre buffs. Yeah, Winged Death Guard Demon Prince. Crap. Crap. Lord of Virulence now. The most insane glow up, I would say. So Lord of Virulence coming in at a low cost of 90 points once again. Lord of Virulence, T7, moves 5, wounds 6. Twin Plague Spear, which is anti-infantry 2+, ignore cover, torrent, twin linked, which is great. It is only D6 though, but there's a twin linked. Got a Power Fist with 5 attacks at strength 8 -2/2. Can equip to either type of Terminator. And it gives out reroll wounds. That's great. That's great. I don't know why I said that. That's great. That's so good. So good. He also now has Blight Bombardment, which is a much better ability than it was from the index. At the start of your shooting phase, all enemy unit within 30 visible to this model until the end of the phase. Each time a friendly Death Guard model, that's army-wide by the way, targets that unit, reroll a hit roll of 1. And if that attack is made with a blast weapon, you can re-roll the hit roll instead. The Lord of Virulence essentially has Oath of Moment. Has a 30-inch almost Oath of Moment, like a mini Oath. Range weapons reroll or all wounds reroll. Reroll wounds in shooting, sorry. Yeah, so Virulent Aura allows the unit to reroll wounds with ranged attacks. Blight Bombardment is army-wide reroll ones to hit unless it's a blast weapon, then you can reroll the hit roll. I think the synergy with the Lord of Virulence is just a little bit insane for 90 points. He's our first S tier. Let's get some claps in chat. Claps in chat, it's our first S tier. How is this guy 90 points? It's Oath of Moment for 90 points. I pay 400 in Space Marine to take a second one. I pay 400 points for Gulliman to get 2 Oath of Moments. He gets a mini one for 90 points. All day, every day. All day, every day. Plague Burst Enabler. Yeah, he's very good with Plague Burst Crawlers. He's very good with Plague Marines with the odd Blight Launcher. He's great with any other, like, ranged weapon. You know? Rerolling ones to hit army-wide on a unit. The only downside it's a unit you can see. But it's also at the start of your shooting phase, so you can deep strike and then do it. You can move, then do it, you know? He's very good with Blight Drones, yeah. This guy, S tier, every list. And that's what I think with tier lists. S is every list. A is a lot of lists. B, it's pretty good. C, it's a skill list. And D, you're never going to see them on the table. That's the tier list, by the way. I should have explained that at the start. Lord of Virulence, absolutely cracked, honestly. Absolutely cracked. Next up, we've got the Lord of Poxers, our first new data sheet. Our first and only. Lord of Poxers, our Chaos Lord equivalent. Now, Lord of Poxers, 75 points, pretty cheap. Pretty cheap. You know, I would say pretty cheap. He's a Chaos Lord. He's always got devastating wounds and lethal hits, which is great on 6 attack, strength 8 minus 2/2. He gives 3-inch range of contagion, which is fine. He also gives lone operative to the unit, or 18-inch lone operative, which is like really good, really, really good. And it's only 75 points. He's a really cool model. He hits great in combat, and he has the lone operative 18, which some people pay enhancements for, some people pay extra points for. To have a Chaos Lord to give this out for free is really cool. He doesn't have best day ever, but he has devastating wounds all the time, so he doesn't really need it. I'm gonna say he's decent. I don't know if he's like an auto include in every list. I don't know if you're gonna see him in every list. I don't think people really look at him right now, but he's not a bad choice. He's definitely not a bad choice if you've got one, because he's gonna buff that unit, keep that unit alive, get them in, hold objectives nice and comfortably, and he's gonna be able to beat off any other people coming in. I don't say beat off. He's gonna be able to fight back quite comfortably against other stuff around him. But he does only attach to Plague Marines, yeah. You can't attach him to Poxwalkers, you can't attach him to Terminators. He does only attach to Plague Marines. So he's like pretty good. Pretty good. So I like him. Very cheap for 75 points. I'm gonna keep that unit alive. You're gonna be able to like pop out with like, you can be able to like sit at the home objective, pop some blight launchers and not really get hit back. And with Lord of Virulence buffing them as well, he's pretty decent. I would say he's decent. Next up, Lord of Contagion, everybody. The Lord of Contagion. I love the Lord Felthius model. Don't know about you guys at home. I think he's great. Now, the Lord of Contagion is rocking in at 110 points. One of our most expensive characters. Most expensive before coming a monster, definitely. Now, he's got the Man Reaper still. He's strength 9, minus 2, 3 damage with 5 attacks. Or the sweep at strength 6, minus 1 damage at 10 attacks. Now, he can be attached to both types of Terminators. He gives the Terminators sustained lance, which is pretty cool. And also, he auto-revives. So the first time model this ability is destroyed in a battle round, roll a d6 at the end of the phase. On a 2+, set that model up on the battlefield, close as possible to where it is destroyed, and not within engagement range of any enemy units within 3 wounds remaining. And you can only do that once per battle. Now, if, let's say, you were playing a detachment such as, I don't know, the Flyblown Host, which is the Grotmus detachment, there is there is a 10-point upgrade for Death Guard Infantry, which is a Death Guard Infantry model. At the end of each phase, the bearer regains all of his lost wounds. Now, it is still 10 points as per the new Minotaur Field Manual. So, you can take a Lord of Contagion for 110 points, give him a 10-point upgrade, and then he's super annoying to kill. And then when he does finally die, on a 2+, he gets back up at the end of the phase, and then he heals all of his wounds at the end of that phase. Because usually, you get to choose. And if he doesn't, because the opponent's like, no, I'm going to make the enhancement work first, where you go, well, the model's not on the board, so the enhancement can't trigger. You know? The enhancement's on the board, so the end of phase enhancement can't trigger. So then Unholy Resilience, which is get back up on a 2+, has to trigger first. And then it's the end of the phase, so now your enhancement triggers. And also, if they're really like, no, I don't want it to work that way, the Lord of Contagion has to get back up, he can't heal at the end of the phase. Okay, that's usually the shooting phase, now it's the charge phase. They charge, okay, now I heal all my wounds. It is it feels like one of the most obnoxious characters in the game. 2 up, back up to full wounds every turn. Anyone who runs any attacks should probably run a cheeky one. Yeah, definitely. Which means I think he's very good. I think he's probably better than Morty. I think he's strong. He's a bit expensive though, so I feel like I don't know if I like putting him in A. I feel like B might be better. I feel like maybe B, because he's 120 points. One with the Deep Strike Death Stride is very good. Yeah, with Death Stride he's great. What's up? What's up, Cloud? Oh, my cat's meowing. Nerf purely by his complete lack of purchasability. I know, Chad. Do we put me strong? A reviving, fully healing Lord of Contagion at T7 with 6 wounds is crazy. By definition, he's is situational. Yeah. But giving Lance and Sustain to Death Shroud is also insane. Giving Lance and Sustain to Death Shroud is a little bit insane as well. And then with that enhancement, is just crazy. Crazy sick. Yeah, even without that enhancement, he's really good. So yeah, let's bang him in. Let's bang him in A. Let's bang him in A. Arguably better than Typhus. Arguably better. Okay, who we got next? Malignant Plaguecaster. Where are you? Where are you? Where you gone? There he is. Malignant Plaguecaster. T6. Obviously, we've had that a lot. The buff army-wide. It can now attach to Poxwalkers as well as Plague Marines. Now, the problem is if you attach it to Poxwalkers, can't infiltrate. Very annoying. While he's leading the unit, each time model in that unit that makes an attack that targets a unit that is afflicted, the attack has a sustained 1 ability. Now, obviously, this is going to be great on anything in combat because they are always within contagion range, so they're always afflicted. And there's a lot of buffs in this book that target specifically units that are afflicted, which is great because it's suddenly now afflicted as a status is suddenly very, very good because it was already really good. Now there's lots of things that are like, if afflicted, then this. If afflicted, then this, which is great. In your shooting phase, after the ball is shot, select one enemy infantry unit, hit by one of Mora's attacks with its Plague Wind. So the enemy opponent's next turn, the unit's enfeebled. Enfeebled, scum. Subtract 2 from the movement from that unit. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Now, the Malignant Plaguecaster is 60 points. Quite cheap. What's up? My cat is just meowing everywhere. What? Come on, then. Come sit up here. Come on, Cloud. Come sit up here. Come on, then. Come on, then. Come on, then. Come on. Come on. Hello. He's purring. You want to say hi to the chat? Hey? Do you want to say hi to the chat? Hmm? No? Not bothered? Come here. Oh. You don't want to say hi to the chat, do you? Okay. You go sit down then. You go sit down. When's the Old World stream? Talk about Old World on Monday, but... Anyway, Plaguecaster, 60 points. He's like the Sorcerer for Emperor's Children, right? They're pretty good. They're pretty good. But a little situational. You've got to be within, what, 12 for Plague Wind, which is a little bit limiting. And then that unit is -2 movement. But they're just going to get you anyway. So you're not really, it's not really like protecting. It's just a bit of a funky one. Giving sustained in combat is great though. So I think they're a bit situational. I think they're a bit situational. I think they're alright at 60 points. I feel like there might be better characters coming up. Should them in the Rhino with Plague Marines. Yeah, with the Rhino with Plague Marines, they're pretty good. The Sustained's good. Sustained is good. I feel like there might be some better characters. He's a bit situational. He's 60 points. You might replace him. You might be like, oh, I'm actually 10 points short, so I'm going to swap him in. Swap another character for the Plaguecaster. Is he auto take? I don't know. I don't think so. They're pretty good. 60 points is really cheap. The problem is it's a bit naff in combat, and then the Plague Wind is only 12 inches. But sustained... Sustained. Sustained's great. Sustained's good, let's be honest. I think he'll be auto-taking the exact sense you mentioned. He'll be swapped in just to fill out a list. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, he is good. It's just sustained one. He's just really good. On anything that you're in combat with. Anyway, Blightbringer. Blightbringer. Let's ring my bell. Where is he? The Noxious Blightbringer. Now, the Noxious is 50 points. 50 points. And you can attach to Plague Marines and Poxwalkers. You can attach this model to a Plague Marine or Poxwalker unit, even if one other leader is already attached to it. But you cannot attach it more than one of the same leaders to the same unit. So you can attach this with any of the characters we've already mentioned to Plague Marines or Poxwalkers. He's all Platter Pistol, which is fine. And he's got the Cursed Bell, which is Anti-Psyker 2 damage. Whilst this was leading unit, you can add one to the move characters to the model unit and reroll advance and charge rolls, which is great. In the battle shot step of your opponent's command phase, and then if an enemy unit is below, you start shot within 9. Take a battle shot test, -1 if it's a psyker. Okay, not so great. But adding one to move, advance, and charge rolls is really good. And you can bang these together onto the same unit to get +1 move, +1 advance, +1 charge, and sustained. And then give him -out movement. For 50 points, so good. Suddenly everybody wants 3. Suddenly everybody wants 3. That's what you actually used to do in 8th or 9th, I think. You used to have an aura +1 move. Because I used to run him all the time. And I just haven't run him since. So yeah, +1 move is great. Gonna make your units move 6 again, which is great. Okay, next up. And I appreciate I'm going fast. I'm trying to elaborate as much as possible, but there's also a lot of units to go through. Even when we don't do demons. Foul Blightspawn. Foul Blightspawn. Now, taking a little bit of a hit. This guy. He's still got his flamer. He can also double attach, which is quite good. So he's also got the same rule as the Blightbringer, where you can attach him with a different leader. Now, in the fight phase, you can select one model from your army with this ability to use his ability, meaning you can only do this with one model, not multiple units. If you're doing something in the phase, that model's unit has the fight first ability, and you can only do it once. Huge nerf for the Foul Blightspawn. Huge nerf. Only once per game, and only one model can do it. Now, it's also 60 points, which is still cheap. Again, people would pay an enhancement for a once per game fight first, you know? They'd pay like a 30, 40 point enhancement to get fight first once per game. So I think he's still going to drop here. I think he's decent. I don't think they're strong anymore. If it was, they just gave out fight first, you'd be like up here, A, S, and A. 60 point for once per game fight first. That also stops you advancing within 9 is like, ugh. You know? Just take 3. Yeah, each unit can do it once. That is 3 battle rounds of fight first. Or 3 turns of fight first. Each model is once per game and only one model per turn. Or only once in the game no matter what. So no, it's one model can do it per turn. Each model can do it once per game. Is that what I said? Yeah, each model can do it once. But each model, you can't do it on all of the models at the same time. You know? If you have 2 Foul Blightspawns and you get charged by 2 units, you can have to choose which one's going to use it. And that unit can't use it again. I think the Lord of Box is slightly worse. I think we're going to see a lot of the buff characters just sat here. We might have to do some rearranging because we can't have all the buff characters on all the characters on B tier. You know, we might need to move these around. I think the Lord of Boxers might have to get dropped down. I think he's significantly better than the support characters. Yeah, Fight First is really good. It's just that he's had a huge nerf, right? If he's still the same, he'd be up here, but maybe he's like here. I think maybe Lord of Boxers is situational. Noxious at B. Foul Blight spawn is probably a lot less than an auto take, but it's something good to keep in your back pocket. Also, Nigel, the parcel arrived fine, buddy. Appreciate you. I realised when you asked me, I was actually away, so I didn't know. But yeah, the parcel arrived fine. Thanks, bud. Is plus one move that good? Plus one move, advance, and charge is good. Yeah, I think plus one move is more situational than decent. Okay, I'm happy with that now. That looks a bit better. What's next? Biologus! My favourite character. The Grenade Boy. Lost the free grenade. Lost the free grenade strat. So also took a bit of a nerf. He's still got the Hyper Blight. He's got the Injector Pistols. He's got Plague Knives in combat. He can also multi-attach. He gives out lethal. In addition, you crit on 5 still, rather than 6s. And then, first time this model has destroyed a unit, he gets objective control 6. That's instead of the free grenade strat. Now, the free grenade strat was really good. Was really, really good. But he still crits on 5s. He's still strong. He's still right up there. Is he S tier? You're going to see him in every list. Let's be honest. How many points is he? 45 points. 45 points. Easy S tier. Don't move. Death Guard weapons have lethal by default. Yeah, but it makes you crit on 5, so you wound on 5s to hit. Which is obviously pretty good. And it's shooting and combat. Why is he 45 points, sorry? With an enhancement, he's like 60 tops. 45 is ridiculous. Yeah, 3 of these every day. 3 biologists all day. If it was 60, I'd be like, yeah, he's pretty strong. Oh, 45? Up there. Add Plague Master to him leading a squad of Plague Marines and he gets sustained as well. Yeah, with the Plague Caster, yeah, actually insane. Biologist and the Plague Caster, actually insane, bro. Lethal and sustained on 5s. Yo! Dude, that's crazy. Biologist, S tier on his own with the Plague Caster. Just fucking give me another tier, bro. Give me another tier, bro. That'll be so, so strong. Lethal sustained on 5s. Fuck, dude. Holy balls. Alright, Tallyman. 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 What you got for me? Tell me. Okay. The Tallyman is a whopping 40 points. 40 points. Now, Tallyman, before I read the rules, I won't go into it too much. 40 points for a single model is pretty nice for a backline objective holder. Now, whilst he's attached to a unit, he ignores all modifiers. So ballistic skill, weapon skill, or hit roll. Hey. But his other rule is in the command phase, if he's on the battlefield, roll 2d6, and a 7+, you get 1 CP. Is top of situational. Top is situational. If you've got 40 points spare, all right, if you've got 40, 50 points spare in your list, bang in a Tallyman, sit him on your home objective, generate command points. He stops stuff deep striking because he's just a model that's in the way, and you don't care about him. You just go, right, I've got a command point. Right, I've got a command point. He will be the first thing that gets dropped from your list if you need points, though. He is the first thing that will get dropped. But for 40 points, for a T6 4-wound model, absolutely cracked. That's just like taking a single Plague Marine on his own. But yeah, they're just nothing. They're absolutely nothing in points. It'll be the first thing that gets dropped from your list, but you won't be mad about having one. We've already talked about the Demon Prince, who might even get dropped down to situational. 200 points for a free command point within 12 inches. He might be giving you one for 40 points every battle round. You know, every single time it's your turn. But you got to roll 7+, so it's a bit random. So, he's decent. He's fine. You're probably going to drop him from your list. But if you got those points spare, you're banging the talisman every time. Next up, the Plague Surgeon. 50 points this time. He can double it. By the way, the talisman and the Plague Surgeon can both double attach. He can attach to Plague Marines exclusively. While these models leading a unit, your command phase, you can return one destroy bodyguard monster unit, which is fine. And then inflamed infection to the start of fight phase. Let one of you with engagement range of this model. To the end of the phase, each time this model makes an attack that targets that unit, an unmodified hit roll of a 5 scores a critical hit, and if that unit is below half strength, an unmodified hit roll of a 4+ scores a critical hit. Now, this would be absolutely insane, but it's exclusively model. The Plague Surgeon only buffs himself and then revives a random model, you know? So, he's 4 attack, strength 5 -2, 2. So I'm not super excited about him, to be honest. Plague Surgeon is more interesting than COC. So Plague Surgeon can take Needle of Nurgle. Each time the bearer uses its Tainted Nartheseum ability, which is Revive a Bodyguard, you can return up to D3. And the Needle of Nurgle is 25 points. That does make him quite expensive. He's 50 points. If you take him with the upgrade, it's 75. Some of these points cost are wild. Is there a possibility of these points to change or not till the next Munition Field Manual after release? They may change post-release, but these are the points that they'll be released with as of next week. When your app gets updated next week, that's what the points will cost will have. I think the Plague Surgeon is like not trash, but he's super, super, super situational. He's like super, super situational. You're not going to see him in every list. You're hardly going to see him ever. If you got that upgrade, he's great, but he's a bit expensive at that point. I don't think he's trash, though. All right, chat. It's the big one now. Let's talk about Poxwalkers. Let's talk about Poxwalkers. These guys got an insane glow up. Now, Poxwalkers are 60 points for 10 or 130 for 20. They've increased the cost of 20 by 5 points for 10. 10 points to the unit. They have Infiltrate. And obviously you can return Poxwalkers. And while they're being led by Typhus, each time they use a Plague Eater ability, they can heal Poxwalkers instead. They move 5, toughness 4, no armor save essentially unless you're in cover. OC 1. But they have Infiltrate. You can, playing well, take 60 Poxwalkers and infiltrate them into your opponent. Now, they're not battle line, so you can only take 60. But they are absolutely insane. 60 OC1 on an objective before you get to move is pretty fucking nuts. Yeah, in the Grotma's detachment, they can infiltrate. Will have stealth, I believe. Or is it just... Yeah, they'll have stealth, so they'll be -1 to hit, and they'll scout 5. Cool, another jail unit. Yeah, they're probably arguably the best jail unit. If you play the Poxwalker detachment, yes, you can have 120 because they become battle line. The detachment's called Poxwalker Heaven. Shamble Rock Vectorum. Poxwalkers gain battle line, and you get 3 Poxwalkers. You get 180 points worth of Poxwalkers for free. Pox Jail is going to be very, very big. In that detachment, you can attach a Plague Caster to them that gets +1 damage to Plague Wind Weapon, and it restores D3 models. So essentially, like, you get a second Typhus. Plague Wind and Typhus both heals Poxwalkers. You can have there's an enhancement for +1 toughness to make them T5. You can give out +1 objective control. And you add 1 to leadership or battle shock. Wither bone pipes. How many points is that? I'm going to wither your bone pipes. You know what I'm saying? 25 points. All day. There's Death Guard model. If you're leading a Poxwalker unit and is in strategic reserve, so the purpose of setting up that unit, treat the current battle round unit as a 3rd battle round. That means you can deep strike them or infiltrate them turn 1. With Lord of the Walking Pox. 15 points to arrive turn 1. I'm sorry. So let's take 60 to infiltrate. We'll infiltrate another 20 turn 1. And all the other ones that I've got are just like way tougher and more annoying. Can you do any character double upping on them? I don't think so. Because all the characters that can attach to them, all the Photive Virions, which is all the support characters, can only attach to Plague Marines. But you can attach Typhus, Malignant Plague Caster, and that's about it, I think. Oh, the Noxious Blightbringer as well. That's it. Oh, the Noxious Blightbringer and the Malignant Plague Caster can attach to the same one. Chat, I've got 120 Poxwalkers. Shall I run him? Bellboy's the only one, yeah. I had my cat chewing on something, sorry. You 30 more. I can't think of anything more depressing than running 150 Poxwalkers, to be honest. So yeah, you can attach the Noxious Blightbringer and the Malignant Plague Caster. So you can attach multiple enhancements on them. So, Poxwalkers, S tier. Right up there. Arguably better than the Blightbringer. By Legends Beautify, sorry. Next up, the Icon Bearer. Now, the Icon Bearer got a little bit of a nerf. Can double attach. Don't know why this is still a separate unit, but here we are. Give +1 OC, and then once a battle round, you can make a unit no longer battle shocked. Now, the Icon Bearer isn't expensive. 45 points again. But it's still pretty poo. Still pretty poo. It's just 45 points. It's just a model. You're just giving up Assassinate by taking it, you know? It doesn't generate command points. If you're going to spend 45 points, take a Tallyman, who's 40, you know? I don't see why you would bother taking an Icon Bearer. Auto pass morale once. Great. Great. If it was just an aura of 12 auto pass, that would be insane. But no. It's once you can make a unit not battle shocked. You've already failed the battle shock at that point. How Poxwalker's gone from DT to S tier? Because I put them here while I'm holding them. Other reason to try and make stupidly big contagion range. Well, he doesn't do that anymore. He used to add 3 to contagion ranges. Now he doesn't do it. He gives +1 OC and ignore battle shot within 12. Yeah, he doesn't buff the contagion range anymore. It's pretty poo. That's why I had 2 icon barriers staying in the box. They look great as Plague Marines in the unit. What was Plague Marine's old ability? Oh, add 1 to Battle Shock. Right. Alright, Plague Marines next. The core of the unit, which I'll have a video coming out about very soon if you want to build some more. Units 1 to 5. 1 champion, 4 to 9 Plague Marines. You can take them in units of 5, 7, and 10. 95 for the base one. And then 10 models is 190. Now, their new ability is in your shooting phase. This time model is selected to shoot. After this unit is shot, select one enemy unit. Until the start of your next turn, that enemy unit is afflicted. Now, as I've already mentioned, being against afflicted is great because there's a lot of buffs that are like, if that unit is afflicted then. But this just gives it out. You know? This just gives it out. They have blight launchers, which are D3 shot, strength 6 -1, 2 damage. They have a whole bunch of weapons. They've still got buboti weapons and heavy plague weapons still. So you can just build them with whatever you like, and then they work as a unit. But for 190 for 10, for 19 points a model, I mean, you were already taking units of 10. And how many points were they before? They're 180. So for 10 points, you give out afflicted to your next unit. Right up there. They're insane. Plague Marines. Are they S tier? Probably. T6 all the time. You know, T6 all the time. The strats to make them toughness 8. Which is great. Maybe just like super strong. Maybe super strong. They might be slightly undercosted, I would say. Maybe a little bit, maybe 200 points would be better for them for 10. But they are pretty good. Do they have access to Nurgling still? Only in that one detachment now. Only in that one detachment, bud. Also, why do all the range drops in Death Guard Codex have rapid fire? You might remember in 9th edition, they had, like, what was it? They had an ability where they rapid fired at full range all the time. But not everything does. The bolt gun doesn't have rapid fire. The melter gun doesn't. The plague melter doesn't. The plague spear doesn't. The plasma gun does. Super 18, not quite S. They're pretty good at fighting and shooting, but don't excel at anything. No, but they're also really just tough. They're really tough to shift. But giving out afflicted, giving out -1 toughness for something else is great. And you only have to hit. You can multi-target. You can shoot like 4 different units, and then after you finish shooting, as long as you hit every unit, you can go, which one will get afflicted? You know? So yeah, Plague Marines, top of A. You're going to see them in every list, obviously. You're going to see them in every list. They're really good. How many armies are not running Plague Marines? Well, yeah, but that's also like, how many armies are not running a Death Guard unit, you know? That's why they're A tier. Next up, Blight Lord Terminators. Oh, wait, should we do that? Really versatile with what leaderboard you can give them. Yeah, that's the thing with Plague Marines. It's because they have all of this to attach to them. Like, all of these extra characters. You know, crits on 5s. Crits sustain lethal on 5s is obviously a bit crazy. You know? That's what you got to remember with Plague Marines. Is all of these random characters that have really good buffs go on Plague Marines. That's why they're A tier. Without them, they're really strong. With them, yeah, they're S tier. Blight Lord's next. Blight Lord's our first Terminator unit. First of 2. 3 wounds, toughness 7. Fucking hell. Toughness 7, absolutely insano. Absolutely insano. And with Deathlord's chosen, there is a strat to make them... Is it Deathlord's chosen? Where is it? I thought it was Deathlord's chosen. No. Where's the +2 strength? Toughness even. Oh, it's there. In Champions of Contagion, sorry. In Champions of Contagion, you can make these guys toughness 9 for 1 CP after being targeted in the shooting phase or fight phase. 1 death guard attached unit that was selected as target of one of your more attacks. Add 2 to the toughness value. Absolutely insane, dude. Absolutely insane. However, a lot of the buffs that you can put on Blight Lord, you can also put on Death Shroud. You can also put them on Death Shroud, which is the problem with Blight Lords, I would say. They're a little overshadowed by their Death Shroud cousins. Now, they have Blister and Fusillade. If this unit has starting strength of 5 or more, or if a character is in this unit, then each time a model in this unit makes a range attack that targets an afflicted unit, improve the strength and AP of characteristic of that attack by 1. So it makes their shooting pretty good, you know? Makes their shooting pretty good. Strength and AP is great. You're going to be strength 5 -1 bolters. You're going to be strength 7 -2 blight launchers. Plague spews are going to be -2. Reaper autocannon is going to be -2, which is pretty nice. Now, the problem is that Death Shroud are just better. You can probably spend a bunch of time and effort making Blight Lords work. And I do think they work a lot of the time. You can actually run the 3 from Felsius now, but you need them to have a leader. Oh, I didn't realize that. Blight Lords. Oh, yeah, they come in units of 3. That's pretty mental. I didn't know you could run them in units of 3. You run them in units of 3, 5, or 10. 115 for 3, 185 for 5, or 370 for 10. That's pretty wild. I don't think you'd ever run a unit of 3, which is why they've got that little caveat at the start of their ability. Because I was going to say, like, why would you run them in units of less than 5? How? But you can. You can run them in 3s. So 115 points for 3, pretty naff. 370 for 10, not crazy. But again, I think they're overshadowed by the Death Shroud. You know? I think you can buy loads of characters to make them good. You can obviously put them with a Lord of Virulence, so they've got +1 strength, +1 AP, and rerolling wounds in shooting, and probably rerolling ones to hit against the unit the Lord of Virulence chooses, which is pretty good. It is really, really good. But it's a bit... I could do this with Death Shroud, you know? Every time you put a Blight Lord unit in, you could be like, I could do this with Death Shroud. And that's going to be the problem, because the 6 Death Shroud are cheaper by quite a substantial mark to Blight Lord. The war gear for these 3s is funny too. Spear Dude only has a close combat weapon. If this unit contains only 3 models, one Blight Lord's turn combat weapon, a biotic blade can be replaced with a Plague Spear and 1 combat weapon. Yeah, because the model in that box only has a fist. It doesn't actually have a weapon. What's it called? Lol Felthius. Yeah, he only has a fist. That's why he only has a close combat weapon. This is your Lord of Contagion. No. Everyone hates it. I think he's a great model. Quite cheap as well for what you get. Where is he? Yeah, he's only got a hand, look. That's not a close combat weapon. That's a hand. I guess you only run this if you're like in love with Terminators and you're out of Death Shroud slots. Yeah. Yeah, I gave him an axe as well, Nigel, or sword or something. So Blight Lords, they're like situational. Maybe the Plague Surgeons are their Tallyman's a little bit better. T7 Blight Lords is bananas. I agree. I agree. Maybe he goes down, they come up. They're decent. They're decent. They're going to appear every now and then. I think I'm happy with that. I think personally I'm happy with this. They're decent. They're T7, which is great. They're almost as tough as a Rhino, just walking about. They're calling a Land Raider in the vehicle detachment. Yeah, it's very expensive though, right? Very, very expensive. All right, next up. The Legends of the Codex, the Death Shroud. Do we even need to say anything? Do we even need to say anything? Let's be honest. Come on now. Anyone want to raise me? Let's raise me. Chat, the Blight Lords are fucking... The Death Shroud are absolutely crazy. Death Shroud are 140 points for 3. Or 300 for 6. They made the 3-man cheaper. Why is the 3-man cheaper than the 6-man in terms of models per point? They've still got the Plague Burst Gauntlets, Plague Spirit Gauntlets. You can still take 4. You can take the Icon of Despair, which gives you -1 leadership within 6. They are Strength 5 attacks, which I think they lost an attack. Strength 8 -2, 2 damage. And then, whilst the character is leading them, they have a give the character 4+ final pain. They're T7 and 4 wounds, guys. Toughness 7 with 4 wounds each. Now, with the sweep, they get 8 attacks each. And, yeah, they get a lot of attacks. 8 attacks each is pretty mad, to be honest. Everyone wants them in 6. Yeah, that's true. Now, their main ability, Death Approaches. Each time this unit is set up on the battlefield using Deep Strike, it can be set up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 6 from all afflicted units and 9 horizontally from all other units. Absolutely cracked unit, dude. 18 Death Shroud is not a dumb list, you know what I mean? It's not a dumb list whatsoever. It's actually a pretty decent list. Like, because you can give out Afflicted. The problem is a lot of the stuff, like Plague Marines, aren't going to help with Deep Strike, you know? Plague Marines can shoot and give out ranged Afflicted. Not going to help you with Deep Strike because it's until the start of your next turn. But as soon as you get a unit in and it survives, or you got units behind walls, you know, when your Affliction range is like 9 inches... Suddenly, Death Shroud can Deep Strike 6 and charge quite comfortably. And they hit like a truck and they don't die. Imagine that with the Lord of Contagion in there. Maybe with the reviving, rejuvenating Swarm. Absolutely insane. How they think that 3 is 140 points, so you can Deep Strike them in tiny places, is normal. I don't know. But the fact that a unit of 6 is only 300 is just insane. I think they should be like closer to 400. If you said 6 or like 360, 380, I think you still take 6. Personally. $18 Death Shroud, 120 Poxwalkers. Yeah, all day. All day. Alright, we got the Hellbrute next. Where is he? Little Hellbrute. Move 7, T9, 8 wounds. He can still take all the options. Surprise is still here, to be honest. He's very cool. He's not quite as good anymore, though. His abilities, each time you make an attack against an afflicted unit, add 1 to the wound roll. I don't know why they bothered putting him in here. I don't know why they bothered. Why did they bother? How many points is he? Hellbrute, 115. Nah, mate. Nah, you're just not taking them, let's be honest. You're just not taking the Hellbrute, let's be honest. Move 7? Yeah, because he's slow, because he's Death Guard. He dropped his speed by 1. Plague Marines help for rapid ingress? No. Oh, maybe. Yeah, but why are you rapid ingressing Death Shroud within 6? Talk about the Death Shroud with Afflicted. Plague Marines will cause Afflicted until the start of your next turn. Which means, yes, they will... you'll be able to deep strike closer for... deep strike closer for... rapid ingress. But why would you rapid ingress Death Shroud 6 away? Why would you ever want to do that? That's more than a normal CSM Dread. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think the Hellbrute's very good anymore. He used to be able to give out Contagion. Now it's just +1 to wound against it, which is, like, good on paper. But it's just a bit like... I don't care. You know? I just don't care. Anyway, Chaos Spawn next. Now, Chaos Spawn and Emperor's Children, absolutely insane. Now, these guys, Scout 6, have a Feel No Pain, No Flying Plus, and Deadly Demise. And Deadly Demise, they blow up, which is fun. They still have the random attacks, and each time the attack is allocated more than this unit, after the attacking unit is making the attacks, roll a d6 to a maximum of 6 per attacking unit. On a 4+, the attacking unit suffers 1 mortal wound. So now if you survive, you can do mortal wounds back. Now they don't have an invuln, they've got a 4+ save, a 5+ Feel No Pain, and 4 wounds. Now Chaos Spawn are 80 points. They're not the worst unit. They're not the worst unit. The mortal wounds is pretty fun. Super situational. But I feel like there's so much more in this codex that you'd actually take over Spawn. So they're just going to be right down here. To speak people into their chat, if you use 300 points of Death Shroud plus a character to deep strike in front of a unit so they can't charge, good luck surviving with that unit. That's the problem you're going to have, is trying to survive with the unit. Well, they move now. They move 8. They spawn, Chaos Spawn, move 8. Yeah, bottom of C. They're not completely trash. They're not the worst unit I've ever seen. But they're a bit mediocre. Is the stream working? I keep getting, like, errors. I need to phone and complain about my internet. Okay, my Phytic Blightholder next. We've not got that many to do, to be honest, because all of these aren't actually getting used. We've only got about 7 or 8 left. We've smashed through this, I think. Chat, you enjoy the stream? Make sure you like it. Stream's a bit jumpy, yeah, I've noticed. Super annoying. It is the internet because my computer's running fine. My Phytic Blightholder. The little card. Now you can only take them in units of 2. You can only take them in units of 2 now. 1 to 2. In your shooting phase, each time all the main units attack against a monster or vehicle, you add 1 to their hit and wound roll, which is a significant buff because it used to be just +1 to wound. It used to be just +1 to wound. He's still got the Bile Spurt with lethal. He's got the missile launcher and he's got the multi-melter, which now has lethal as well. Don't know why the multi-melter has lethal, but it does. So that's pretty fun. We love that. They are they're pretty good. They're pretty good. My fitted blight haulers are 90 points or 180. They're 90 points each. Upgrade him to let him hit monsters and vehicles is big too. I think they had that anyway, didn't they? Didn't they have +1 to wound against monsters? Oh yeah, it's just vehicles, add 1 to wound. And now it's monsters and vehicles +1 to hit and wound. They're pretty decent. Probably there, maybe here. They're pretty decent. 3 up save, toughness 9 with a 5+ input is nice. You've obviously got the strat capability with Flyblown Host as well. There's obviously the vehicle detachment, which you can fuck about with. You know, what's it called? Not rapid evisceration. Mortarian's Hammer, which is all about vehicles. You can make it move through building, which is not crazy. You can choose a terrain feature within 24 of it and make everyone within 3 afflicted, which is nice. Which is end of movement phase, so that is 2 CP, but it could come in clutch with the Death Shroud. You can make the -2 to charge. You make people do battle shocks. You can give them assault. Is it lethal? The multi-melter is pretty funky. Lethal and multi-melter is pretty nice. But only hits are 2, so they're decent. They're decent for 90 points. Okay, the biggies now. We've got the Photed Bloat Drone. Full stop. No extra on the end of that. No extra on the end of that. We've got fallback and charge. Fallback and shoot and charge. Sorry, with hovering death. It can take plague spitters and it can swap its plague spitters for a flesh mower. Flesh mower being 10 attack, strength 7, -1, 2 damage. Obviously, really good. Obviously, really good. The Photed Bloat Drone is 90 points again in contention with my fitted blight hauler. Double flamers or flesh mower is nice for 90 points. T9 3 up 5 up is essentially the same unit, but it flies and moves 10. It's arguably a very similar unit. It does very similar things. It's fine. It's decent. Probably worse than Terminators. Maybe here. It's essentially the same unit. The big one, though, my Photed Bloat Drone with heavy blight launcher. The heavy blight launcher is 36-inch range, D6 +2, strength 10, -2, 3 damage. I want 7. In the shooting phase, each time this model makes an attack that destroys an enemy unit, before removing the last one of that unit, roll a d6, adding 1 if that unit is afflicted. On a 5, each enemy unit within 6 inches is afflicted at the start of next turn. Up you go. Probably here. How many points is this? 100 points. All day. 3. All day. All day. Such a great, super strong shooting profile and an insanely good ability as well. You know, every unit within 6 inches probably on a 4+ becomes afflicted. You ping the Plague Marine into them, that's afflicted now. Right, okay, you -1 toughness, so I'm probably winning you on 3s or 2s. And now everyone within 6 on a 4+ is also afflicted for the second one that's going to do the same. It's just, if you do it right, it could be like an extreme cascade of afflicted everywhere to make everyone -1 toughness. Because they're essentially, I feel like you shoot your Plague Marines, then you shoot your Blight Haulers with your Blight Launchers from Bloat Drones, and then you shoot everything else in the army. You know? It's like a... It's kind of like a fucking... You know, like on Helldivers 2, where you call in like the Eagle, and it's like the cluster bomb? It's like that, but affliction status. It'll just spread out so well if it goes well. It'll spread and do so well. On a 4+, essentially. So, great. S tier right up there. Great unit. 100 points each. They need a nerf. Next up, the Plague Burst Crawler. The Plague Burst Crawler. Oh, I love these boys. I love these boys. They've always been pretty good. They were a bit on the back burner. It's time for another kit bash video for cheap using haulers. Yeah, I think the weapons are the problem here, right? The weapons are the problem. I don't know how you can make a cheap blight hauler. Bloat drone. I suppose you saying convert this into a bloat drone, you mean? And it's almost the same. It's the problem is I mean, how much are they? I get you now. Not community. Why do I think I'm so slow today? Can you filter vehicle? Yes. £18.50. £37. Woof. Yeah, I don't know how you do it though, because it's all snap fit. It's 40 for the drone almost. I don't know what you'd use for the fans. A lot of it you've got fine, but I don't know what you'd use for the fans to make it fly. Because you can just take the tracks off, and then you've got the body. Fans are the big hold up, yeah. Wings from the demon plague. Yeah. Well, if they don't even have any filters, that's how you know they don't care about them. Put play drone wings on them? They don't even sell them. Are play drones in the Codex anymore? I can probably tap it in like 5 seconds. Give me like 2 minutes. You can put like the back of it onto the vehicle body somehow. That'd be some insane cutting though. The nice thing about making cheap stuff videos is it's very easy to do. So you think that chassis, the carapace on the back of the vehicle. On the back of there. You just have to go there, right? You're essentially just using the faceplate. $3 meters of 15mm picture pipe is like £6. What's picture pipe? But how do you make the weapon? Just fucking glue those two together, call it a day. I don't know if they're the right size though. Cyborg Demon Flies is pretty metal. Yeah, you're essentially what you're saying is we use the faceplate on a drone. You know? But then how do you make the weapon? I think the body's fine. I think you can get away with the body thinking about it, but bang some wings on. But how do you make the weapon? Because you can't just go, that's a blight launcher, because that's a fucking missile launcher. That's a multi-melter. It'd be fucking bitched as well. Oh, would it? You could just take that faceplate, I suppose. And the teeth. You're essentially replacing this bit with drone wings. I don't know, bodge something together from bits. Yeah, but if I'm making a video, I need a plan, you know? If I'm making a video about it, how do I make it cheap for people? What does a black lodger look like? I hate it because clean my filters. That's super annoying. Like that. Like a triple cannon thing. That one. I don't think you even need drone wings. You can make the chassis for it. It's just making like the launcher. And again, it's trying to keep it cheap so it's easy to do. Anyway. Did you have that concept? No, we were selling. Oh, someone's selling Death Guard army. I hate selling Death Guard. Mortarion, Plague Agent, Plague Caster, Lord of Contagion, Lord of Virulence, Icon Bearer, Foul Blight Swarm, Biologist, Putrefier, Talisman, Ferreted Blade Drone with Heavy Blight Launcher, 2 Matterfield Blight Haulers, Rhino, Death Shroud, Blight Lords, Demon Printed Wings, 3 units of 7 Plague Marines, and a carry case. Yeah, the Blight Launcher's tough. You can make it out of like the tracks, like the holder. But it's like making the weapon. And because it's easy to build, they're a bit fucking shit to work with. Anyway. Plague-based Crawler. Plague-based Crawler coming in at 195 points. They come with Entropy Cannon still, which is strength 10, -3, D6 +1. They've got the Plague-based Mortar, which is lethal, D6 +3, strength 8, -1, 2 damage. So, pretty decent profile. They've been pretty good for a long time. They hit on 3s pretty much across the board. T10 with 12 wounds, which is the biggie. You can start to use these to push them up the board, which don't die very quickly because they've got a 2-up save and a 5+ invuln. In the shooting phase, each time you select a target of this model's Plague-based Mortar, roll a d6 for the target unit and every other unit within 3 inches of the target unit. Adding 1 if that unit being rolled for is afflicted. On a 6, the unit being rolled for is struck by spores. After resolving all these model's attacks against the target unit, each unit struck by spores suffers D3 mortal wounds. Now, this is a super funky ability because essentially, because they say on a 6+, that the unit being rolled for is struck by spores, they are essentially giving that a status. Much like afflicted is a status, they say the unit is struck by spores. It doesn't really say when the spores go, when they're gone, when it ends. But they suffer D3 mortal wounds after they resolving all the model's attacks against the target unit. It seems a bit weird. It's a bit of a weird ability that they've not really clarified. So let's say on the face of it, what they're probably saying is you do a couple of mortal wounds. Alright, not bad. With the Lord of Virulence giving them full rerolls to hits with those blast weapons, suddenly interesting. Suddenly interesting. They're a bit pricey, but they're tough. They reroll hits with the Lord of Virulence, essentially out of Oath of Moment. Now, they don't need to see, but the Lord of Virulence does need to see. Now, he can deep strike. He can deep strike 6 if he wants to, if he goes with Death Shroud. So he can really see any unit in the shooting phase and give the play-best crawlers full rerolls. You can make them afflicted using the heavy blight launchers. The raw hail volley gun from the play-best crawler would be good for a heavy blight launch if you use a stubber if you have one left. True, but you want the raw hail volley gun on probably on your play-best crawler, you know? Or do you, yeah? Maybe you don't. I'm not sure. Not a bad shout though, Hatman Rich. Appreciate you. So yeah, so play best crawl is 200 points. Lord of Virulence is pretty much needed, but you're taking a Lord of Virulence anyway. I'd say they're really strong. I think you're going to see them a lot more again. Because we're not seeing as much Mortarian, I think we're going to see a lot more plague-based crawlers. For 195 points, very solid body, very solid shooting. Lord of Virulence is needed. If Lord of Virulence gets nerfed to Oblivion, then they're going to drop down themselves. They are reliant on him, I think. I think they're pretty reliant on him. But full rerolls to hit, as long as he's got line of sight, is amazing. Is actually amazing. Next up, the Predator Annihilator. So this is the las cannon version. Now this obviously has twin las cannon, one shot, strength 14, -3, d6 + 1. In your shooting phase, after this model shot, select one enemy monster or vehicle hit by one or more attacks. Roll a d6, add in 1 if it's afflicted. That unit suffers d3 more wounds. They don't want you to buy Predators. I don't think they want you to buy Predators. And for 135 points, it's decent long-range shooting, but I prefer 2 entropy cannons because they have lethal. I'm not mega excited about the Annihilator, to be honest. I'm not mega excited about it. The Destructor, though, which is going to be this one. In your shooting phase, after these model is shot, select one enemy unit, excluding monsters or vehicle, hit by 1 or more attacks. Until the end of the phase, each time a friendly Death Guard unit makes a ranged attack, improve the AP by 1. The enemy unit can be affected by this ability more than once per phase. Now, like I said earlier with Blight Lords, if you take a Lord of Virulence and a Predator Destructor, you can make Blight Lords AP 2 in shooting, or an additional AP 2 in shooting, which is pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. But you're spending 145 points to do that. You are spending 145 points to do that, which is pretty poop. The Predator autocannon is rapid fire 2, strength 10, -1, 3 damage. The -1's pretty rubbish, but the next one that shoots will be -2, which is great. And it's only against that particular unit. And are you shooting a Predator Destructor and a Blight Lord unit into the same unit? They're a little better. I'd say they're situational. I think the Predator Annihilator is really shit, but I think the Destructor's fine. I do think the Destructor's fine. I think that Preds are a dying breed. You don't take them as as Space Marines, and Chaos Armies either have something better or they don't have them all like Emperor's Children. Yeah, I think a lot of the old vehicles, they're trying to phase them out a little bit. You know, I think they're trying to like phase them out a little bit, to be honest. Now, Destruction's amazing. I bring 3 in my Alpha Legion list. They're pretty good, solid shooting base, but they're like, I think the Death Guard have other options in this book. I would rather 3 blight, heavy blight launchers over a Predator in this army, to be honest. Next up, we got the Defiler. Again, the reason the Emperor's Children don't have this is because, say it in one sentence. Death Guard Defiler. Emperor's Child Defiler. Move 8, toughness 11. Now, the battle cannon has lethal hits, which is great. So does the combi bolter, obviously. But the battle cannon having lethal hits is pretty fun, pretty funky. Now, It's T11, moves 8, which is a little slow, 14 wounds. Moves 8 was a bit slow for something that's so big. So big. It can move over monster vehicles and terrain features that are 4 inches in height, because it's quite big. And then into your shooting phase, after this model shots, let one of your unit hit by one or more of those attacks, you gain... The unit cannot have the benefit of cover. It's cool. It's cool. You know? It's fine. Now, if you want ignore cover, getting a Predator's probably better because they get AP. Defiles 165 points. It's massive. It's quite slow. If you stick it on a base, you're not moving it pretty much ever. And it probably needs a base these days. I'm pretty sure it comes with one. They're not great. They're not great. Arguably slightly better than the Predator because you can get minus ignore cover. It's pretty fun in combat. 5 attacks, strength 16, -3, d6 +1. Making him better than in combat. And he's got the Defiler Scourge if you want it. 3 attacks, strength 12, -1 T damage with extra attacks. But the Scourge gets swapped for... You can either have it launcher or a Flamer. And I think I'd rather the Flamer. I'd rather the Flamer, to be honest. So yeah, Defiler's not so good. Not so good, to be honest. Defiler poopy. Next, the Land Raider. The lowly Land Raider. Why do I have an issue with the stream every 3 minutes? Come on, fucking hell, OBS. What are you playing at? Fucking Sky. Piece of shit. Defiler model is aged. Yeah, the Defiler model is just too old now. Just too old, and they don't want to keep making it. I feel like that's why a lot of these units are quite low, is they don't want to keep making them. Next up, the Land Raider. Chaos Land Raider, 240 points. It's a Land Raider. It can carry 14. It's decent. It's fine. It's a Land Raider. Do you need one? Not really. A lot of your shit's deep striking. A lot of your shit's deep striking, so you don't care about it. Arguably situational. I just put it on B because it balanced it out. However, Rhino time. Now this is a unit. The Rhino coming in at 85 points. 85 points. Lethal combi weapon. Havoc launcher. Armored tracks. Firing deck 2. However, fire support. In your shooting phase, after this model is shot, select one enemy unit hit by one or more of those attacks. Until the end of the phase, each time a friendly model that disembarked from this transport makes an attack, you can re-roll the wound roll. Now your blight launchers getting out of rhinos, re-roll hits and wounds. With the Lord of Virulence on the table. So good. So good. Is it S tier though? Toughness is still toughness 9. It didn't get a point of toughness. Is it S tier? I don't think they're S tier. I don't think they're S tier. I think they're really strong. I think they're really, really strong. Rhino S tier. Is it S tier? Because Plague Marine shooting isn't that good. They're needed in every list. But the Plague Marine shooting isn't that good. Death Guard will be 3 Rhinos minimum. Is that because the Rhino's really good or is because the army's really slow? The ability's good. Couple of Blight Launchers. Couple of Multi-Melters. Melter Guns, sorry. Plasma Guns getting out. I don't know if the Death Guard Rhino is like S tier on its by itself. I think it's S tier because you've got other shit with you. Really slow. They move 5 instead of 4 now. That's a 25% increase. Yeah. The extra layer of durability and ability to shoot with the unit inside, or at least their unit's heavy weapon, and the buff for reroll is S tier. I don't think it is, though. If you think about it, like a plague breeding unit, let's say a bricked unit of 10, a bricked up unit of 10. They come with bolt guns. You can take a plasma gun on the sergeant. You can take a blight launcher, a plague spewer, and then a melter gun, a plague belcher, or another plasma gun. And then that's it. So it's not like you're getting out with like a devastator unit, you know? It's not like you're getting out with a tooled up shooting unit. There's some decent weapons there, which are rerolling wounds. That is good. I just don't think that makes a Rhino S tier. Oh, 2 of each. That's true. You can take 2 of each. Thank you, Herberdip. 2 blight launchers, 2 plague spewers, 2 melter guns. Okay. Okay. Have they changed the loadout for these? I don't think you could do that. That means you have 3 plasma guns. Okay. Yeah, okay. Alright. Alright. I hear ya. I hear ya. I hear ya. Maybe they are S tier. 5 plasma guns getting out is pretty good. And it's reroll wounds in combat. In your shooting phase, after your demolished shots, then when a unit hit by one or more of those attacks until the end of the phase. No, it isn't. isn't reroll wounds in combat. It's till the end of the phase. And it's only 85 points, can't say on the voice. And you get a free car. Alright, S tier, yeah, okay. You can take a lot more shooting weapons than I realised. I knew you could take a few, but like double plasma, double flamers is great. It can transport 12 infantry, but it cannot transport terminators, so it can transport postwalkers, if you really want to. And I think that's it. All these are just the extra things that I'm not using, like the random 3-man model and stuff. Can you take the 3-man plague marines? You can't. Sad. It's in combat if you don't read the ability out loud. Based. Chat, I think that's my tier list. I think that's my list. Plus the attached character, very true. It's suddenly become blurry as shit. Never mind, I should have just used the website. I think that's my tier list. Did I just lose it? Wait. No! No, I think I closed it. I just closed it. I just closed it, chat. I closed it. I didn't save it. Never mind. Thankfully, I saved it as a picture. But it's just blurry as shit, that's all. Yeah, but the closed tab. This is the closed tab. It's not. It's saved. It's got the old information on it. Anyway, there's my tier list for today. Can I make this full screen? I can. There we go. That looks better, doesn't it? There's my tier list for today. I think overall we've captured the Death Guard perfectly. You're gonna see Death Shroud, Lord of Virulence, Poxwalkers, Biologists, voted bloat drones with heavy blight launchers, and rhinos in every list. You can see play marines in pretty much every list, though I don't think they are the strongest unit. In A tier, you're going to see them in pretty much every list, and B tier is going to be stuff that you think is like pretty good that you might see. C is super situational. It's good in the right build, in the right army. And D is never going to see the tabletop. I think we nailed it. I think we nailed it. I think we absolutely nailed that one. I think that's great. As a whole, would you all agree new Death Guard are S tier? I think Death Guard are definitely going to make a huge splash in the metagame because they are just so tough. Toughness 6 on everything. Toughness 7 on Terminators is absolutely cracked. It feels absolutely cracked. And I would say that this feels like a new age of Codex writing because this Codex feels very full, you know? I think in a couple of other older codexes, it's felt like that there's like a build, and then there's some other stuff that sounds cool. Whereas with Death Guard, I look at all of these detachments, and yes, there's some standouts if we look at like Poxwalkers, for example, but all of the detachments look pretty good. I think we're in for a new era. We're in for the mid or late 70. What am I saying? Late half of the game where they really got their teeth sunk into writing for 10th edition, and now they're like writing 10th edition, if that makes sense. Because they've already the rules writers have already got their eyes on 11th edition now. They've done writing codexes, but from the beginning of writing 10th edition codexes to now, it feels like a totally different ball game, which I'm excited for because it means that the people waiting for their codexes while they've had to wait a lot longer are probably going to be eating a lot better than you were if you got one of the first codexes. And it always happens. It's called power creep, and it's not that they're trying to power creep stuff. It's just you can definitely tell that the rules writers are learning to write the game slightly differently later into the edition because they've had more practice. You know, they understand the metagame a lot more. They understand how books were received early on. Now they've got that in their head and they've learned from it. Now we're starting to see a very full codex, and I think this tier list absolutely captures what is probably going to be 90% of lists starting to have a fun time and just trying their just there, you know. They were there, you know what I mean. So there you go. There's my Death Guard tier list. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video. Really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe, because that's literally free. And also you can join our Discord, which is also free to join. But if you are a member like these lovely people, which are going to be scrolling down the side of the screen when I make this into a video anyway, you can support the channel by doing so. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. And that's the end of the tier list, chat. That's a great reason why editions need to last more than 3 years. Even if you had to have cases version 2 for factions. No, I totally agree, mate. I totally the fact that I don't like the three-year cycle. I'd prefer like a longer cycle. I'd prefer like a year cycle when everybody's had their book and we just balance in. I think that'd be a lot better, but we're just not going to have that. That doesn't make GW money. You know? That just doesn't make GW money. I'm recording for 1 hour 47. That's going to be a long video to edit. That's going to be a long video edit. Can I get away with using the winged demon prince as a prince on foot, do you think? Like with your mates, or at home, or like in a tournament? In a tournament, no. Because it's just the wrong unit. But with your mates, yeah, probably. Same model, innit? I just looked at the Reddit thread for my old video. 0. I got downvoted to shit. It's 0. I would be very interested to see how much money and new editions first year actually made compared to the year leading up to it. Well, just look, yeah, just look at their fucking look at their profits. Look at their stock price when they get a new edition. Reddit hates you. Said Jesus told the truth. Me, yeah, literally me. Literally me. My tier lists always do really well though. All my tier lists are some of my most viewed videos. Even though everybody does them, people love a tier list for some reason. If you look at my most viewed videos, tier list, technically, tier list, tier list. They always do really well, like 30,000 views on that one, pretty good for a month ago. Again, they're not always, but they do pretty good. Tier list should spark conversation and little controversy, otherwise it's just boring. Well, yeah, that's true. I think that one's pretty on the ball though. 75,000 views for a tier list on Spearhead. That's now. I never made a video for that one, but I have it recorded. 10,000 on that one. I definitely made I improved the thumbnail. It's like the same thumbnail, look, but it keeps working. the same thumbnail keeps working. Laughing face, little game, and then like some of your favorite units in the bottom. Definitely made it better. But I first tried that one there and it worked pretty well. I think that's all the tier lists I've done, to be fair. Anyway, chat, it's hot and my internet keeps disconnecting for some reason, probably because it's so hot. So I'm going to call it a day there. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I did. A little bit of a quieter one today, which is surprising. But I guess everyone's already done Death Guard news. I should have done it Monday. The only one I disagree with is a Blight Hall. I think you have them too low. They're to be honest, they're literally bang in the middle of the tier list. They're literally perfectly out. Which I think, I don't know, maybe that's wrong, but like that's quite funny that I've just realised they are literally the centre unit. They're bang in the middle. Bang in the middle, no problem. Anyway, chat, I'm going to call it a day there. So thanks so much for watching. No daily games, but I'll be back. I might be back tomorrow doing some hobbying, some DIY, sorry, we'll see. But my internet's fucking up, so I'm going to go anyway. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Sorry I'm dipping early, it's just my internet's being shit, and I'm like annoyed at it. So thanks for watching, appreciate you, and I'll catch you next time.